Good morning everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, depending on where you're watching this video from. Today what I would like to do is I'd like to show you my fire kit. And first thing, a lot of people will probably ask me, so I'm going to answer the question right away, is how much does it weigh? And this weighs just slightly over 8 ounces, about the same weight as a 8-ounce cup of coffee. So it's not real heavy, it's also not real light, but I've never been an ultralight person. If I want to save 8 ounces, I'll skip a breakfast bar in the morning. But I've always been a huge believer in backups, and this kit is actually packaged in a blood glucose kit that I have that everything expired in, and it just gives a real nice, easy way to carry everything. So, being the huge believer in backups that I am, this is what's in my kit. It's a whole bunch of different ways to be able to make fire. The first one that I have in here is I have a waterproof tin, and I've got some stormproof matches along with the lighting strip that the matches come with. These are safety matches, so they're not going to strike unless you have the box with them, and they're especially not going to work unless you can keep them dry, so they go in a waterproof vial. That's the first way that I can start fires with this. I also have what's called the Sparklite emergency fire starters. Sparklights are a really nice, easy way to get fire going. I'll show them to you in detail in another one of the videos, but this one essentially, if I can get this out of the box, there we go. This is an upgraded version. Most of them have a plastic piece here. This one has a metal bar, and it also has replaceable flints in it. So it's a little more expensive, but it's a nice setup. This one has an arrow, and it shows you how what direction to strike the wheel, and those are the sparks that you get. That, in combination with this tinder, will allow you to get a fire going. These are not waterproof in and of themselves, but you shred it up a little bit and you strike the spark into it and you get a fire. So that is my Sparklite. That is my second way of making fire in this kit. I'm going to put this off to the side. Third way is an old style ferrocerium sparker rod. This one will strike sparks and strike that into tinder, and it'll get your fire going. This works wet, dry, or anything in between. It's a great little unit. I have my Bic lighter that I always have with me. Some of you have told me that white lighters are bad luck. That's only if you are using them to light drugs. I've never had problems with my white lighters. The reason I use the white lighters as opposed to the colored ones is because if you hold it up to a light source, you can actually see exactly how much fuel is in the lighter, so you're never stuck with an empty lighter. I have probably 20 feet of jute twine. This is really easy and nice to shred up and to make a tinder bundle. This shreds up into a tinder bundle very, very effectively and gives you an easy way to get your fire going. It's wrapped around a piece of fat wood, plus I have a couple of extra pieces of fat wood here. I have in here, I've got my char cloth that I can use for starting fires. If you look at some of my other videos, I use char cloth in a bunch of them to be able to catch a spark. I have some Ultimate Survival Wet Fire Tinders. When you open them up, it basically looks like a bar of soap, and it catches, you can actually use the ferrocerium rod to light these up, and it'll catch a spark, and this will burn for an extended period of time, 5 minutes plus, plenty of time to get your fire going. I keep 2 of those. I have a magnifying glass, and this is just a nice flat credit card size Fresnel lens, and this combined with the other fire starting materials I've got is pretty much a guaranteed fire, especially if I'm using this stuff. This will start the char cloth up in, if you've got some decent sunlight, in just a couple of seconds. It goes in the back here. And then the last thing that I have in here is a pack of the military fuel, gel fuel. This is gelled alcohol. I can pretty much put this on top of any kind of a fire lay, and this will give me an extended burn time. So in here, I've got a bunch of different ways to start fire. I've got my matches. I've got my spark light. I've got my ferrocerium rod. I've got my lighter. I've got my magnifying glass, and I've also got a bunch of different types of tinder. I've got the gelled alcohol. I've got my char cloth. I've got 2 different of the wet fire tinders. I've got an assortment of fat wood, and I've got my jute twine to make a tinder bundle, and that will get my fire going. Well, that's my fire kit. As you can see, I'm a huge believer in backups, and sometimes with something that's as important as fire, I believe in backups for my backups. It's an 8-ounce kit. It'll pretty much take care of me for as long as I want to be out in the woods. I'm not going to have to worry about the ability to start fire. I don't have to care if I take a swim with it, because I've got things that'll work even if they're soaking wet, and things that if they get wet, I can dry them out and then they'll be effective. So that is my fire kit. And again, it zips up into this little pouch, and I take it anytime that I'm going backpacking or anytime I'm going out in the woods. I've always got my fire kit with me. It's also large enough that I don't have to dig to find it very much. It's really easy to track down. 8 ounces of guaranteed fire, pretty much anytime, anywhere. That's what I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please like the video. If you would like to see more, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, tell your friends about it. Enjoy your time out in the woods. Be safe, have fun, and hey, take your kids camping. Thanks everybody. Have a wonderful day.